mommy.
I just wanna.
She made statements that implicated herself in this crime. However, absent his body, a lot of work remains to be done. She
Ringling College of Art and Design, where students put all their perception points into performance. Kudos for styling the text to look dusty, but that title card only shows up for 2 seconds. The audience needs more time than that to read the text, especially when they're simultaneously being introduced to the video setting. Nice music, but why is this in France? The pun doesn't fit the setting, since in French, dust bunnies are known as moutons. These crackers are hovering slightly, casting a very thin shadow and leaving no reflections on the polished floor. The docking holes on top of each of the crackers are embedded into the texture. What exactly is this supposed to be? An off-brand Ritz cracker? A crumb? Off-brand Lucky Charm marshmallows? A scale model of the Grand Canyon? The UV mapping on this table leg makes the wood look warped. While we're at it, 5 cents for all the low-resolution textures in this video. Whoa, what? Why does a cracker have squash and stretch properties? It should be breaking apart. Also, the texture on the top left half of the cracker suddenly disappears as the cracker squashes down. Or have squash and stretch properties. It should be breaking apart. Whoa, what? Why does a cracker have squash and stretch properties? It should be breaking apart. Also, the texture on the top left half of the cracker suddenly disappears as the cracker squashes down. This animation acts like dust bunnies have more mass than a creature made of dust particles would reasonably have. Oh, stop complaining. What did you expect? This is animation sins. So, what determines when a dust bunny gains sentience? Are they alive from dust particle number 1? Or do you need a certain amount of dust and hair to be clumped together? Do they have organs, muscles, and a nervous system? Do they have souls? Oh, sorry, got a little carried away there. Wait, is there a dust heaven in hell?
Dear Lord, that's the loudest profanity I've ever heard.
I'm a little confused about the relationship here. Is this darker dust bunny the parent of the light gray dust bunny? This is never really explained. Not to mention, this bunny's supposed parent is trying to make it do more dangerous stuff. This is a poor parenting plan if I've ever seen one. Unnecessary vignetting on this shot. Every object in this shot has the correct depth of field except the cracker. Hey, just because they're made out of dust doesn't mean you can make them clip halfway through the floor. That dust bunny worked hard for that cracker, and the other dust bunny just ate it in front of him. What a jerk. So the video has clearly established that dust bunnies in this universe need to eat food. Do they just wait around all day for someone to drop food in their mouths like a newly hatched bird? This cracker has no shadow. That carpet looks like orange drywall. What is this, for the birds? The cracker crumbs have multiplied. Before there were 7 crumbs, but now there's 12. Consistency, please. Little did the poor little bunnies know they were about to all get sucked up into a vacuum. Did his eyebrows just go over his eyelids? Pretty sure that's not how eyebrows work. Either that or his eyebrows somehow morphed into his eyelids. What's holding his face into his body? They're just floating mid-air. Come to think of it, so are his arms and ears. Is this dust bunny just so dense that it's drawing matter into its gravitational pull orbiting around him? Oh no, he's turning into a black hole! Everybody run! Where am I? Why do they have tails? Or are those just really large butts? So you're telling me that within the span of 5 seconds after the maid entered the house, she got the vacuum out and started working? Someone give her a raise. Did they not hear the maid hauling a giant vacuum into the room? Also, the vacuum is floating. This is the world's brightest vacuum cleaner. That camera pan was very choppy and not properly splined. I just noticed there's no ambient occlusion in this video. The dust bunny on the top left stops moving 2 frames before the camera switches. Not only does this cracker not have shadows, but it's glowing. Even the dust bunny holding it seems to be freaked out. Clearly, these dust bunnies went to the Prometheus school of running away from things. Is the maid able to see these little balls of dust rolling away from the vacuum? If so, how is she not confused by this? This video takes place in France. These are North American power sockets. This.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
The end. The coffee table is floating. What else is the maid cleaning here? Other than those 4 dust bunnies and the crackers, this has to be the cleanest floor on Earth. Oh wow, how convenient it is that you can slide like a penguin on hardwood floor. The crack between the wooden planks is so unnaturally dark. I'll take a rain check on that raise. This maid's got some gunk to clean up. Not only is that impossible, but that is completely impossible. The dust bunny doesn't even make contact with the wall before sliding down. The dust bunny unplugs the cord. I don't think I even have to say why this is a sin. It's hard enough for me to unplug one of these things. Oh, so now he's light and fluffy all of a sudden. The maid somehow doesn't hear this. You're telling me that after being dropped on the floor and vacuumed up, this cracker is still perfectly intact? You're sure it's not plastic? Wait, so the dust bunnies don't die even after their entire body is ripped apart? Also, this dust bunny's mouth clips through the pile of hair. I'm confused. Is he dead or alive? Just a moment ago, his individual body parts were alive, and now they're just drooping and lifeless. The maid seems super confused, as if extension cords don't easily get unplugged while vacuuming. Get it together. What is she waiting for? She's held that cord looking around for 6 seconds going, huh? Where's that outlet I just plugged this into less than a minute ago? Gotta be around here somewhere. The dust bunny's ears clip through the roof as they jump into the hole. You know that the outlet is not at your eye level, right? It's like 1 foot from the floor. And the dust bunny's head was chopped off and we never heard from him again. The end. The dust bunny survives this. Those textures. How did the dust bunnies communicate exactly? It seems like they just squeak at each other to get their points across and rely on facial expressions to talk. Am I questioning the linguistics of living dust bunnies? Of course. Wait, is the maid confused because dust got on top of her vacuum, or that the dust is conscious? Her expression makes it look like she's surprised that there are dust bunnies on top of her vacuum, which means she doesn't seem to be fazed that they're alive. In that case, she already knew the dust bunnies were conscious creatures, yet she killed them anyway. Maybe the dust bunny should murder her after all. I like when I fist bump my parental guardian that also pets me on the head. Since we've already established that the maid knows that the dust bunnies are conscious, her pointing a duster at them is the equivalent of holding up a gun to a human. What a monster! This cord isn't affected by the depth of field at all. How does stuff like this even happen? When the duster constraint to her hand turns off, it clips right through her hand. Please don't tell me she's a ghost. We've had enough. How does stuff like this even happen? When the duster constraint to her hand turns off, it clips right through her hand. Please don't tell me she's a ghost. We've had enough, ghost girls. Well, that was the quietest scream I've ever heard in my life.
Nope.
What causes her headpiece to stop mid-air? It doesn't come in contact with anything, it just stops. Why did the vacuum lift up at the end? Even in this short's wacky cartoon logic, this doesn't make any sense. So you're telling me that a fully grown adult woman can't stop herself from being sucked into a vacuum cleaner, but a freaking dust bunny can? It was clearly much easier for the maid to plug or unplug the vacuum, which the dust bunny struggled to do, meaning that by this video's logic, she is stronger than the dust bunnies except when it comes to being sucked into vacuum cleaners. Baloney. We clearly saw you didn't save that cracker when escaping the vacuum earlier. Obvious PNG background. This motion blur. If you look closely at this part, you can see that only one bunny threw the vacuum. I know we've seen the inconsistent strength of the dust bunnies already, but how on earth was it able to throw the vacuum that hard? Maybe those were actually performance-enhancing crackers that the dust bunnies just ate. I feel like it would be more appropriate if in this part of the video it showed the dust bunny throwing logic and consistency out the door. Then the dust bunnies starved to death because there were no longer humans to give them steroid crackers to eat. The end. In conclusion, this video was good. The animation quality, lighting, and models were all good. The only part lacking in this video were a few texture issues and logic issues, which don't really matter at the end of the day on a video like this. Dust Bunnies is a fun and enjoyable short film that anyone can enjoy. Except maids.